everyone, thank you for joining me again today. So for today we have a lower body focused class. We will be having, I will be using blocks, but they are not necessary. I really just like to use blocks just to help create space within my movements. But like I said, this is a lower body focused class. We will not be doing any downward dogs. We won't be doing any planks. So this is really for those days where your wrists might feel a little sore, your shoulders might feel sore, and putting weight into those areas of the body might not feel accessible. But you might still want to get your yoga in, so this will be a great class for that. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. So we're going to start standing. The heels underneath the hips, about hip width here, and really focus on grounding through the pinky toes all the way through the big toes, and then feeling that grounding all the way towards the back of the heels. And then let's roll the shoulders back a couple times here. Nice big circles. Good job. And then come into a nice tall standing position. Spine is nice and lifted, and you're feeling that energy lift up the top of the head. And let's take a deep breath in, reaching those hands up overhead. And go ahead and release. And then let's just swing those arms out left and right here a couple times. Letting that body warm up. And then back to the center. And we're going to take another deep breath in, reaching those hands up overhead. This time clasping your fingers together and palms coming up towards the sky. And let's take another inhale. On your exhale, lean it over towards the right. Grounding down through that left side body. Good job. Go ahead and release. Back to the center. Release your hands. Shake it out. Get a little rock here. And let's make our way back to the center. Take a deep breath in, reaching those hands up. Palms together, this time opposite hand on top. Palms facing the sky. Take a nice deep breath in again. Then on the exhale, lean it over towards the left. Good job, back to the center. And slowly release. And again, just shake it out again. One of my favorite moves, just to do whenever I need to give myself a shake. Good job. And then we're going to make our way back to the center. Take a deep breath in. And then we're just going to melt our way down. So chin to chest. And slowly just melt our way down to the mat. You can grab a hold of the blocks if you need. No need if not. So take a deep breath in, flat back. And exhale it down. Grounding down through that left foot. Let's raise that right heel and slowly bring that right foot back to the mat. And bringing that knee down to the ground. And let's lift it up for a nice slow lunge. So feeling that grounding through all 5 of those front toes and through the top of that back foot. So sinking in here, breathing in deep. Hands to the tops of the shoulders here. And just one at a time, we're going to roll the elbows in nice big circles. Keeping that belly button pulled in. Last one. Good job. And then we're going to circle both elbows at the same time. And if you're feeling it, we're going to add the upper body. Good job. One more here. And then let's extend those hands out. Nice big circles. Big circles. 2 more. blocks. Lift up through that back knee. Take a deep breath here, lifting up through the chest, opening that heart. And nice and slowly bring that right foot back. The hips. Take a deep breath, flat back. And exhaling it down. Now grounding down through that right foot, lift up that left heel. And slowly bring that left foot towards the back of the mat. Dropping that knee. And taking a deep breath in as we reach our hands up overhead. Feeling ourselves ground down through our feet. Bring those hands to the tops of the shoulders. Belly button is still pulling in tight. Let's circle the elbows towards the back, one at a time. Good job, and then both elbows. Good job, and then let's add that upper body. Continuing to breathe. Last one. And then extending those arms all the way. Reaching up and reaching down. Nice big circles. Two more. Last one. Circling it around. And then bringing those hands either to the ground or to your blocks. Lifting up through that back heel. Sinking into that front leg. Giving yourself a moment to open up through the heart. Slowly bring that foot back underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in and exhale it down. Then give yourself a moment to just hang here. You can clasp on the opposite elbows if you'd like. Sway back and forth. And then make your way back to the center. Release your hands and slowly roll it up. Circling those shoulders back. Good job. And then coming back to the center here. Grounding down through that right foot. Let's take that left foot and step it back towards the back of the mat into Warrior Two. So we're sinking in to that Warrior Two here. Belly button is pulled in tight. I always like to imagine my tailbone grounding down to the earth. It helps me feel a little bit more grounded. And we're going to start with just pulsing into that front leg. Good job. 3, 2, last one. Now hold it down nice and low in that front leg. And now let's reach that back hand towards the back of the mat. Good job. Keep reaching. 3, 2, last one. Now hold that reach. Now keep that feeling of that hand reaching towards the back of the mat. And then bring that torso towards the center here. Good job. Get a little lower in that front leg. And let's lift and lower through that front heel. 3, 2, last one. Now hold that lift and start pulsing through that front knee, keeping that heel lifted. Add that upper body as we pulse it. Just kind of flow it out here. Good job. 3, 2, last one. Bring that heel down. Straighten that leg. Toes come to the side of the mat. Bring those hands to the hips. And nice and slowly fold it down. Bring those hands down. If this feels a little wide, feel free to heel toe those feet in a little closer. Take a deep breath, flat back. Exhaling it down. Now keeping our hands here on the mat, we're just going to bend and straighten those knees. 3, 2, last one. Good job. Holding it here, and just like we did before, grab onto opposite elbows. Let yourself just hang. into the right and left knees. Just kind of swaying it out here, and those elbows will make their way into a figure 8 position. Just flowing it out here. And then make your way back to the center. Bring those hands down to the mat. Pivot the feet, the toes to the front, hands coming down to the front. And then let's step that back foot back underneath the hips. Take a deep breath, flat back. And slowly bring it down. Move my blocks out of the way here. Scroll it up. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our feet to the outside of the mat. Toes are facing forward. And we're just going to bend into those knees, left and right. We're just going to start bending, flowing the upper body left and right. And then we're going to add some intention to that movement. So really pulsing into those legs. Let's add some arms. Doing good. Give me 3, 2. Last set. Let's hold it over towards the right. Bring that left hand back up. Keeping that chest up nice and tall here. Grounding down through the feet evenly. Bring those hands out nice and wide here. And just pulse it into that right knee. 3, 2, last one. Good job. And then let's just blow it out here and go back into that movement with a little intention. Add those arms. Keeping that belly button pulled into the spine, gripping through the toes. Give me 3, 2. Last set. Hold it towards the left. Sink down nice and low, but continue to grip down through that left toes, or those right toes. Reach the right hand back up. Keep that chest lifted. Open those hands here. Pulsing to that left side a couple times. Keep breathing. 3, 2. Last one. Good job. Bring it up. And let's take a nice deep breath in. And just melt our way down. So bringing that chin to the chest. Slowly making our way down to the mat. And then take a deep breath in, flat back with some length. And exhaling it down. Grab onto those heels. Slowly release those hands and roll it up. Roll those shoulders back. Times, making sure to keep that spine nice and elongated. So sometimes, for me at least, a couple shoulder rolls help with that. So we're going to bring our feet in together now. Our big toes are touching. Heels have some space. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, sink it down to your chair here. Making sure you're squeezing those knees together, those thighs together. Keeping that core nice and strong, and that heart is open. Now let's pulse it down a couple times. You can pulse nice and quick, or if you're feeling it, you can go nice and slow, wherever you're feeling. Get a little lower if you can. 3, 2, sinking it nice and low. Bring those hands to the heart here. Now squeeze those palms together. Activate the shoulders. Ground down through that left foot. Raise that right heel. We're going to take it out and in. Out and in. And now if you're feeling, we're gonna add a little twist with that upper body. So bring the upper body to the left. So twist, and in. Twist, and in. Give me 3 more. 2. Last one. Bringing it back to the center. Take a deep breath in, reaching those hands up. Exhaling it back to that chair. Pulsing it out. Hands coming to the heart. 3, 2. Last one. Sink it down nice and low. Squeezing those palms together. Lifting that left heel. And taking it out and in. Out and in. If you're feeling it, add that upper body over to the right and in. Twist and in. Good job. 3, 2. Last one. Bring those feet back in together, taking a deep breath in. And bring those hands back to the sides here. And just kind of shaking it out. Let's bring those feet out a little bit wider. So right underneath the hips here. Take a deep breath. And melt your way down. Deep breath, flat back. Exhale, fold it forward. Now give those knees a nice generous bend here, even letting the upper body rest on the thighs. And then slowly straighten out those legs and roll it up. Circle those shoulders out. Good job. And let's feel nice and grounded in towards that left foot. Reach that right heel up and bring it back, step it back to that warrior 2. So nice, strong warrior 2. You can place those hands on those hips to feel that hip placement. If they're not square, no worries. Let's pulse it down, nice and low into that front leg. Good job. 3, 2. Last one. Now stay nice and low here and reach that back hand towards the back of the mat. 3, 2. The last one. Now hold that reach. Keep reaching that hand towards the back of the mat, but bring that torso back towards the center. Making sure you're nice and low in that front leg. Lift and lower that front heel. You're doing good. 3, 2. Last one. Now hold that lift in that heel. Pulse it into that front leg. If you're feeling it, add that upper body. Good job. 3, 2. Last one. Bring it back to the center. Heel comes down. Straighten that leg. Bring the toes towards the side of the mat. Hands to the hips. Nice deep breath in. Exhale it down. Bringing those hands to the mat. If this is too wide, you can heel toe your toes. Your feet together a little bit more. Take a deep breath in. Flat back. Exhaling it down. Grab onto those heels. Good job. Bring those hands to the mat and bend and straighten in those knees. Keep breathing. 2, and 1 more. Good job holding it here. Grab onto opposite elbows. Give yourself a moment to just hang and relax. Bend into those knees. If you're feeling it, letting those elbows naturally come into a figure 8 here. And then slowly bringing it back to the center. Hands coming down, and then pivot toes to the front. And then all we're going to do now is bring that back knee down and come down onto both knees. So lifting up, knees are about hip width here. Core is pulled in tight. Our spine is still nice and long. We're feeling that energy lift up the crown of the head. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that right hand to the hip. We're going to inhale, reaching that left hand up. As we exhale, we're going to push that hip out to the side and reach that left hand up and over. And then bringing it back to the center. The left hand coming to the left hip, inhaling up. As you exhale, push that hip out to the side, reach that right hand up and over. Keeping that chest open. Good job. Now we're just going to float out without the hands on the hips. So all we're going to do is reach that hand, really focus on grounding the hand down towards the mat. And that left hand is going to come up and over. So inhale. As we exhale, reach that right hand down, left hand reaching up and over. And then lifting it up. Inhaling and exhaling it over. And let's just flow it out here. So inhaling and exhaling over. Inhaling and exhaling. One more time each side. Good job. And let's slowly lift it back up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to cross it at the ankles and just sit down onto our butts. We do not need our blocks anymore, so I'm going to put mine off to the side. And I'm actually going to turn my mat just a smidgen so you can see me a little better here. So we're going to come into a bridge. And we'll modify and add on a couple times. Actually, we'll just add on. So our knees are bent. And nice and slowly roll it down onto your backs. Bringing those heels in, making sure they're in line with our sit bones. And what we're going to do in first is just come into a bridge. So focus on grounding down through the pelvis, tilting the hips up, and then slowly lifting those hips up into the air. Once they're up nice and high, we're going to clasp our hands underneath, roll those shoulders under, and focus on lifting those hips, making sure our chin's up to our chest. We want to keep the airways open. So keeping those hips nice and lifted. And let's slowly release those arms. And nice and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, roll it down. Now we're going to keep our hands here now. And we're going to slowly tilt those hips and then lift the hips up towards the sky. And then slowly roll them back down. We're going to do this one more time. So tilting the hips and then lifting them up. Holding that bridge. Gripping down through all 10 toes. And then slowly rolling it down. Now we're going to add on, I like to call this the rainbow bridge. So as we lift our hips, we're going to rainbow our hands over the head to the floor. So as we lift our hips, reach those hands up and over, rainbow the hands over. And as we're holding the hands here and the hips are up, making sure we can breathe nice and open. Keeping the hands where they are, slowly roll it down. And then give yourself a moment to just relax. And then sweep those hands back to the hips. And then 2 more times here. Let's lift those hips up, rainbow those hips, those hands up and over. And then slowly roll those hips back down. Taking a moment. And one last time. So bringing the hands back to the hips, and as we lift our hips, rainbow those hands up and over. And then slowly roll those hips down. And then holding it here. And then bringing those hands back towards the hips. Let's bring those knees in. Give them a hug, rock back and forth. And then we're gonna bring the hands down. I like to have my hands at about a 45 here. We're gonna bring those feet straight up into the air. So the heels ideally are right over the hips here. Feet are flexed. Pulling that belly button towards the mat. You can grip down through the hands if it helps, but we're just going to nice and slowly take those feet over towards the right, just slightly. Keeping those feet, those legs straight, feet are flexed. And then back towards the center and over towards the left. Good job, back towards the center. Making sure those heels are over the hips. Back over towards the right. And then up and over towards the left. Good job, and make your way back towards the center. And now we're gonna take the feet, I'd say maybe about a foot down. Just once you really start to feel that engagement in the lower core. Keeping those feet flexed. We're gonna start with the right foot, point those toes, bringing them down. And then as we come up, flex that foot. And then left foot, point those toes. And then flex on the way up. So right point. And flex. And left point. And flex. One more time each side. Point. Flex. Good job. Point. And flex. Good job. Lift those feet back up, bend the knees. Rock back and forth. Give the knees a hug. And then let's just straighten those legs out and give ourselves a moment to just take a deep breath in, reaching those hands up overhead. And just giving the body a nice stretch. Good job. And then nice and slowly bring those knees back in for a hug. Keeping the knees bent, bring the feet down to the mat. Keeping that left foot on the mat, bring that right knee in, give it a hug. And then straighten that right heel up towards the sky. And then bring that right heel over the left thigh. Thread it through, grab onto either the back of the thigh or the shin. I should say right heel to the left knee. More towards our knee. And then slowly release. Bring that foot back to the mat. And then let's bring that right knee in, give it a hug, and then straighten that right heel up towards the ceiling. And then cross that left ankle over the right knee. Thread those hands through either to the back of the thigh or all the way to the shin. Just give yourself a moment to breathe into that left hip. And then release. Uncross the legs, bring the feet about mat width here. And all we're gonna do is just take a moment to windshield wiper those knees to the right and to the left. So taking your time, you can hold one side longer if it feels good. And then now let's make our way into our final Shavasana here, straightening out the legs, mat width or wider. Feel free to take up as much space as you feel like you need. Roll those shoulder blades under. Hands are down, palms are facing the sky. Close your eyes. Relax your face, relax your mouth. Let your heart open. And let the wave of relaxation flow over your body. start wiggling your fingers and your toes, adding any subtle movements back into your body. Reaching those hands up overhead. Bending the knees. Rolling over to one side. And when you're ready, come into a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for joining me today and practicing with me. So I like to end with a couple deep breaths. So let's take a deep breath in, reaching those hands up overhead, and then bringing it back into the heart. And one more time, taking a deep breath in, and exhaling the hands to the heart. Namaste. Have a great day. Aloha.